Hey, what's up guys, Dave here with Tech.Dad, and this is the Google Nexus 7. Now I know that the Nexus 7 has been out for quite some time now, but I still wanted to review it before the Nexus 8 or the Nexus 7 2 or whatever comes out. So without any further ado, here is the review of the Google Nexus 7. So first, I want to talk about the hardware. So yes, this is a 7-inch tablet from Google, and it's actually Google's first tablet. The design of the tablet is, in a sense, excellent. It's 7 inches in size, hence the name Nexus 7, and it weighs 340 grams or 11.99 ounces. The screen itself is made out of Corning Gorilla Glass, and the back is made of this tacky rubber material which makes gripping the Nexus 7 extremely easy. On the front of the Nexus 7, we have a 1.2 megapixel camera that can shoot 720p video. On the right hand side, we have a power button and volume rockers. Up top, we have a speaker. On the left hand side, there's a place to insert the Nexus 7 into the official Nexus 7 dock. On the bottom, there's a micro USB slot as well as a 3.5mm headphone jack. And on the back, we have some Nexus and ASUS branding as well as a large but thin speaker. The screen itself is 7 inches in size, and it has a resolution of 800 by 1280 pixels, and that's a pixel density of 216 ppi, or pixels per inch. Internally, this thing is rocking a quad-core 1.2 GHz NVIDIA Tegra 3 processor with 1 GB of RAM. The Nexus 7 is available in 16 and 32 GB models, as well as the cellular data 32 GB version. My Nexus 7 is a 16 GB Wi-Fi only model. Moving on to the design, I have to say that Google designed this tablet almost perfectly. The Nexus 7 has a very rectangular shape to it that makes it easy for me to hold it in one hand. The back of the Nexus 7 is one of the best I've seen on a tablet. Instead of going for a metallic back like Apple did with its iPad mini, the Nexus 7 has a tacky and textured rubber-like back that not only feels good in the hands, but it also helps you grip the Nexus 7 more firmly. The back is a definite fingerprint magnet though, so you may want to wipe it with a cloth then and now. On the screen itself, you can see there is quite a lot of bezel around the Nexus 7. This isn't a problem in landscape mode, as a large bezel serves as a place to rest your hand so that your fingers don't get in the way of the screen. But in portrait mode, it sometimes feels like there's a lot of wasted space, although this isn't too big of an issue. Like I said before, the Nexus 7 screen has a resolution of 800 by 1280 pixels. Now this may not sound impressive at first, but I can tell you firsthand that the screen looks absolutely amazing. Everything is very crisp and sharp, and you can see very few pixels when looking at the screen at average distance. While the screen on the Nexus 7 isn't as sharp as, say, the Nexus 10 and some 1080p smartphones out there, I can definitely say that it looks much better than the iPad mini. Not only is the screen great, but viewing angles are pretty good too, and the screen can get really bright. What really makes the Nexus 7 screen seem truly amazing is when you're watching an HD YouTube video and when you're also reading text. Overall, the screen of the Nexus 7 is quite good. With an NVIDIA Tegra 3 quad-core processor clocked in at 1.2 GHz and 1 GB of RAM, you can probably guess that the Nexus 7 is very fast. Apps load quickly, and Android in general is very fast and smooth. The smoothest of Android is probably also thanks to Project Butter, which first appeared in Android 4.1 and is still present in Android 4.2. All this awesome hardware would be meaningless if the software wasn't on par. Thankfully, this isn't the case. The Nexus 7 comes straight from Google, so that means that it's running pure Android 4.2 Jelly Bean. It doesn't have any skin, it doesn't have any bloatware, it's just pure Android straight from Google. So what does this mean to you? It means that you won't have to wait on updates for Android since you'll get it straight from Google, and you'll also experience Android the way that Google intended. In a previous video, I mentioned that I thought TouchWiz was better than stock Android. After experiencing this purified version of Android, I can safely say that I changed my mind. So the Nexus 7 is running on Android 4.2.2 Jelly Bean. I did a top 5 features of Jelly Bean video, so if you want to check that out, link will be in the description on the like button. Android 4.2 has a lot of awesome and cool features. For example, one of the major benefits that Android has over iOS is the ability to add widgets. There are tons of widgets to choose from a simple battery or weather widget to a full-fledged, full-screen Twitter client widget like this. You also have the ability to add widgets on the lock screen. Another thing that Google seems to really want you to like is Google Now. You can access Google Now from anywhere by swiping up from the home button. With Google Now, you get little cards that show you information like weather and current events, and you can also say Google and then search for something. Google, what's the weather like in New York?
It's 50 York.
How tall is the Empire State Building?
Empire State Building is 1,454 feet tall.
One thing I really like about Android is the customization that it offers. Don't like the way that you unlock the device? Change it to something else. Don't like the look of your lock screen? Download Widget Locker Pro and change the look completely. Or do you just not like the look of Android? Download a launcher from the Play Store and just completely change the look, customize it to your liking. For example, right here, I'm running a custom launcher called Apex Launcher to get me these effects like this effect right here. That's because of Apex Launcher. Speaking of Google Play, while Android may not have as many apps as iOS, the apps that are available are still pretty good. The Nexus 7 is sort of in between being a big phone and being a full-size tablet, so it's basically like a mini tablet. Because of this, there aren't very many apps that are optimized for the Nexus 7. So the apps that aren't optimized will basically be blown out phone apps to fit on the Nexus 7 screen. Now this may sound terrible, but it's really not. Since the Nexus 7 isn't that much bigger from the largest of smartphones, non-optimized apps still look great. The apps that are optimized though, like Google+, look absolutely stunning. Especially games that are optimized, for example, Bike Race here, games look absolutely stunning. The graphics, the colors, and overall everything look extremely good. While the Nexus 7 may be lacking a back camera, it does have a 1.2 megapixel front camera. At first I thought the exclusion of a back camera would bug me, but then I realized only stupid people take pictures with tablets. I mean, come on, seriously, who does that? The front camera on the other hand has a lot of useful features like Skype or Google Plus Hangouts. If you're not the social type of person, you can still take pictures and videos of yourself. Android 4.2 also brought a slew of different image editing features like effects, cropping, and more. One thing that I found a bit strange is the fact that the Nexus 7 doesn't come with a stock camera launcher. You have to download one off the Play Store. Other than that, the camera on the Nexus 7 isn't too bad. The Nexus 7 has a non-removable 4,325 mAh battery. The battery life is surprisingly quite good. While it may not be as good as the Galaxy Note 2, the Nexus 7 can still last me the entire day with about 3 hours of on-screen time. Usually on an average day of using the Nexus 7, I would start with 100% at around 7 AM, and at the end of the day, around 10 PM, I'd still have a solid 10% of battery left. So I can safely say that the battery on the Nexus 7 is one of the tablet's strong points. The sound quality is also quite good. The large, thin speaker on the back of the Nexus 7 does a great job at portraying sound. All sound comes out crystal clear and it's really impressive. While some people may think that you'll cover up the speaker with your hand while holding it in landscape mode, it really doesn't make a difference. Two thumbs up for the sound and battery on the Nexus 7. After using the Nexus 7 for a month, it's quickly become my favorite device of all time. It's got great hardware, great software, a great camera, and great battery and sound. While there are some things I would like to see in the Google Nexus 7, like an SD card slot for external storage, or perhaps a removable battery, I still think that's an amazing tablet. Even though the successor to the Nexus 7 is probably going to come out in a couple of months, I'd still recommend getting this tablet because it's that good. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like. It really does help. Also, don't forget to comment down below on what your thoughts of the Nexus 7 are. Do you like it? Do you not like it? Tell me in the comment section below. And if you're not already, don't forget to subscribe to my channel to never miss one of my videos. Once again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.